guys. What's going on, LBHT crew? B, what is going on with our teams, man?
Well, I mean, they're playing down to who they are, apparently. I mean, you know what it is with Baltimore. Baltimore's missing a lot of players. And then there's Carolina.
Yeah. well, apparently you have a celebrity coaching your team, right?
Yeah.
Matt Rule thinks he's whole. He thinks he's Jay-Z.
Well, he thinks he's a cross between Jay-Z and Will Smith. He's the biggest star you ever seen.
Yeah, you're getting best of both worlds, man. Look, and it took 7 years for Jay-Z apparently to become an overnight success. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. So we'll discuss that. Look, not a lot to take away from the Panthers, right? I mean, they're just, they are what they are at this point, man. Like you could see the life being sucked out of that team, right? Yeah. You could feel it. And the Ravens, they just got their players just being sucked away from the field. But we're going to discuss that because that's a little bit more nuanced, right? As of right now, before the Dolphins game starts, and we're going to get out of here right when the Dolphin game starts so you guys can watch the game because we need the Dolphins to lose. But as of right now, we are in the 7th seed. Even though we've lost 4 in a row, we are as of right now, we are in the playoffs. That is unbelievable. Let's give a couple of shout outs here. Shout out to Omar Tillman. Said Rule is ruining what little culture the Panthers had. Yeah. Facts. Got our man Garnett West in the house. He says, yo, what's up, man? Hold on. Let me change this layout real quick. There we go. Now Garnett West says, yo. Yes. Mr. J6 says, had to check and make sure it wasn't Wednesday. Had me confused. Man, look. So, okay, I know it's a little confusing, guys. We try to give you guys a post-game show after the game, but that's every other week, right? Every other weekend we can do it. The weekends we can't do it right after the game. We try to give it to you on Monday, right? It's kind of unofficial, but that's how we try to plan it. But, yes, Wednesday, 7:15, you're always going to get that show, no matter what. All right. Just Aloe, what's going on? Hello, everyone. Hope you had a great Christmas. Yes, I hope you guys had a great Christmas. Hey, if you celebrate Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. Right. Yeah, man. I hope everybody's holidays is going well. Right. And happy New Year too. Well, we'll be here Wednesday, so we'll say the Happy New Year's for Wednesday. Yeah. Danity says, "Hey guys, we need Lamar back, or it's over." Dandy, you might be right. Tough Puppy is here. Today is a good day.
What's up,
Tough Puppy made it early. Yes, Tough Puppy. Yazar is in the house. What's up, Yazar? Says, watch Bucs Panthers game. AB is still a number 1 wide receiver. Baltimore could use him. Big facts. Eric L says, greetings, Jose and Brodny. Happy holidays. Happy early 19th born day for Brodny. Yes. Yes, because he's turning 19.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Raven Ron in the house. What up, LBHT? Andrews, 230 yards and breaking the single season tight end record. I'm rooting for him. I hope he does it. Tony Hendo's in the house. What's good, fellas? Definitely not our teams. Yes. I hear that, man.
I see what you did there.
And we got our boy Mikey from Off the Record Podcast, also from the Ring Kings Podcast. If you guys aren't subscribed, it's searchable now. You type in Ring Kings Podcast, you will find us. Me, B, and Mikey breaking down all the boxing news, all right? We just put out our first episode over the weekend, man. It's pretty dope. So go ahead and support that channel, all right? Yes. And shout out to Jonathan Washington, man. Appreciate you coming through. All right, man. Look, I gotta read this from Andrew Mubidu. Says hashtag defund the defense. Jose Point gets proven again. Yes. It's our point, right? Like hashtag defund the defense. That's our saying around here. And look, you don't invest in the defense, right? Not in today's NFL. I'm not saying don't invest in defense at all. I'm not saying go out there and roll out with a bad defense, but that can't be where your main resources go. It just can't. Just can't. Now this year,
Carolina has a lot of talent on defense.
Yes,
they spent a lot of draft picks on defense. They've got a lot of really good players on defense. They got a few Pro Bowlers on defense. They got 5 wins.
What's up, Nitro? Shout out to Nitro, man. Appreciate you coming through. I was talking to him earlier. King of Pugo's in the house. What's up, King of Pugo? Yeah, man. So yeah, let's break this down. Oh, and before we break it down, you see the ticker right there, okay? lbhtshow.com/shop. First, let's start with the lbhtshow.com. Okay, we put articles on there. Our man D Weezy be writing articles every week about the Panthers. Every now and then we throw an article on there about the Ravens, you know, when we feel like it. All right, but it's a dope site, man. We put audio podcasts. If you're in the audio podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, you can listen to it. But we also put them on our website, articles, and the lbhtshow.com/shop part is where you can get the merch. All right. If you like what I'm wearing right here, you want you a Lamar t-shirt like this. This is when you hear me say hashtag 8 is the way. When you see that hashtag, that is in reference to Lamar Jackson. Okay. Number 8. He is the way. You want a beanie like B's wearing because it's getting cold outside. You can go ahead over to the store and get you something from there. All right. Okay. So the Ravens, they got mollywopped.
Yes. They got beat 41-21, I believe was the final by Cincinnati. Joe Burrow went for about 525. I think he had 4 touchdowns.
Yes.
No interceptions. Jamar Chase, 7 catches, about 125 yards. Great game for the rookie. T. Higgins, the could have been, should have been Raven. He went for 12, 194, and 2 touchdowns. This past week, Cincinnati became the first team in NFL history to have a quarterback throw for over 4,000 yards, 2 1,000-yard wide receivers, and a 1,000-yard running back, all under, at the age of 25 or under. So, obviously it looks like their offense is set for a long time. Now, I know I do want to point this out before we go too much deeper into the game. I know a lot of Ravens fans on Twitter and everything have been really annoyed at the way Bengals fans are celebrating the game, the way the Bengals themselves celebrated in the game. And they're talking about, oh, yeah, congrats. It's a fake win. The secondary wasn't out there.
Well, Ray Ron saying that right here. Ray Ron saying 4-string defense. But
yeah, okay. But my thing is, they beat the brakes off you the first time they played you, too. They beat you worse. And you had everybody then.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow went over 400 yards then.
Yeah.
You had Lamar Jackson in that game. Like, of course they're celebrating. They swept Baltimore. That game likely means they win the division and are going to the playoffs. And what are you worried about it for?
And also, I mean, we've been the better team for a long time. Like this is a team that just hasn't been that good, right? Like we've had a lot more success than they have. And the same thing with the Browns. So yeah, I mean, they're going to take it however they can take it. And, congrats to them, man. And honestly,
and unlike Cleveland, Cincinnati has earned it. They got their quarterback. They put weapons around him.
Yeah.
They built the team up to what they are. It wasn't a lucky win. They went out there and beat Baltimore twice.
And I'm not mad at all about them passing late in the game to get Burrow his 500 yards. You know why? Because yes, we were decimated by injuries and COVID, but Wink was still out there talking trash, right? Talking trash. If you want to talk trash, then you need to back it up, right? Yeah. Otherwise, just keep your mouth shut. You know we're hurt right now. The game could get out of hand. It's fine if you have confidence in your team and everything like that, but you know what you're working with. If you don't want that to happen, don't let it happen.
And like I said, don't say anything about the quality of Joe Burrow and the quality of Jamar Chase, because of course they're going to come out and do that to you. Yeah, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah. Mikey says only to go Bengals in the playoffs when they get there. # bitter Ravens fans. Yeah. Well, look, I mean, I don't think they're Super Bowl caliber yet, but I mean, this year's a weird year, man. Like, no team that makes the playoffs would surprise me if they won a Super Bowl. That's how weird this season is. All right.
Right.
So, look, there's not much to take away from it. The only thing we can hope for is one that the Dolphins lose. Oh, we got a donation. I got an anonymous donation. Shout out to you. It says happy early 25th birthday, Brodny. Oh, okay. Shout out to you. Shout out. Yes. Let me. I want to see something. I want to try something. Let me see if you guys can see this. Let me see. Do you guys see that alert? It's a subscriber alert. I just tried it out. And that's my boy Gino. Shout out to Gino Maynard. He's one of my longtime friends, man. If you can't see it, that's fine. It might be on my end, but I'm messing around with subscriber thing. So like, you subscribe, you get a little notification. But anyway, back to the Ravens blowout here. Look, we knew we didn't realistically expect to win, especially when Tyler Huntley was out, right?
Right.
So that was one of those losses where you don't like losing. You don't like losing at all. You don't like losing to a division rival, and you don't like when they talk trash. But that comes with the territory, man. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
If the Dolphins lose tonight, we're a 7th seed. Even if they win, I think we're at 8th or something like that. But
yeah,
we got to focus on the next 2 games. If we win the next 2 games, we're most likely in. And we still have a chance to win the division because you guys, the Bengals, they're playing the Chiefs coming up. They could very easily lose that game. And then they finish out with the Browns. And, the Browns.
It's going to be harder to lose that one.
It's going to be harder, but the Browns whooped them the first time.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it could happen. And if we win out and they lose out, we win the division. Right. So we got to worry about the Rams. The game got flexed. So we're a 1:00 game. Right, they're traveling from the West Coast, playing a 1:00 game. So that gives us a little advantage there. And Matt Stafford is a gift that keeps on giving.
I know the nation just can't get enough of them Panthers. They moved Carolina from 1 to 425.
I saw that. That.
Shout out to the league.
Yes,
they know what brings the eyeballs to the NFL.
Okay, they saw the notification, the subscriber notification. So look, that's something else I can put up there. And by the way, if you're new here, make sure you hit that like button. Also subscribe. All right, and if I see a notification, not everybody that subscribes. If your account is made public, then it'll pop up, and I can give you guys a shout out if you want a shout out. But hit the subscribe button anyway, man.
Yes.
Let's see. Godson is here. He says, "What's up, family?" Shout out to you, man. Thanks for coming through. Danity says Ravens and Bengals had the same record coming into yesterday's game, and they are 10 times healthier. That says a lot about how far Lamar carries his team. Big facts.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. The 10 times healthier thing. I mean, look, it's true, right? They haven't had the same amount of injuries that Baltimore has, but this is kind of my thing with injuries, and this illustrates it, right? Because they did come in with the same record as Cincinnati, because their injuries are to positions that don't really matter all that much. Now, when you start piling the injuries on, of course it's going to matter.
Yeah.
But just on its face, losing some running backs means nothing. Right. Losing a linebacker means nothing.
Yeah.
Now Ronnie Stanley hurts, but even still, even with those guys out, they were 8-6, and that was with Lamar playing poorly for about a month.
Yeah.
It is a quarterback league. The quarterback is your team. Everybody else is an accessory to your quarterback.
And if we're being honest, right? Yes, absolutely. Like the injuries, it's a easy excuse, and it's a valid excuse. I want to get that clear. It's a valid excuse, but the fact is, a little bit better coaching, and we have already had the division locked up.
Yes.
That's just the reality. A little bit better coaching, a little bit better, scheming up this offensive plays, and we would have had three extra wins, and we already had the division locked up. So as sloppy as we looked, and we've looked sloppy all year, we could have just as easily won the division already.
I cannot wait for Lamar Jackson to come back and Greg Roman to drop the hurry up offense that they've been running a little bit. So with the other guys, they've been playing up tempo. They've been spreading defenses out and everything. And when Lamar gets back, they're going right back to 3 tight end sets.
They're gonna go right back. They're gonna go right back to that. You know it. Big Reg, man, what's going on? I see you in here, man. Thanks for coming through. Spooky J is in here. Shout out to Spooky J. Agent E. Shout out to you guys, man. Ferris is here, man. What's up? He says, "Is it live? Is we live?" Yeah, man, we live, man. We live. Thanks for coming through. King of Pugo says, "Been saying those 2-point conversions cost up." Look, I'm not. one game I wasn't a fan of it. The other one I was okay with it. But at the end of the day, it's about execution, right?
Yeah.
If we get it, nobody's saying anything, you know. But
Absolutely.
But we just don't have good play calls, man. It's the poor play calling. So look, we still have a chance. That's all I can say. As poorly as we've been playing, we still have a chance. It's not looking great, but we're still in it. Now, I want to address something, and shout out to Nitro. Nitro hit me up about this earlier today. He actually hit me up about it the other day. We're going to do a little conspiracy theory here. Now, I'm going to say this. I don't fully subscribe to it, but Nitro threw it out there, and it's worth bringing up, right? Lamar Jackson did not travel with the team. Now, why wouldn't he travel with the team, right? We had COVID outbreaks. Tyler Huntley, tested positive at the last minute, seemingly. Seemingly. He was sick before. That was not COVID, which we know now it really was. And he brought up the question, was Lamar Jackson, does he have it and they just trying to hide it? My thing is, it's kind of hard to hide those things. Like the team doesn't administer the test, right? Like I think that's a third party that administers the test. Yeah. So if he tests positive, like the team can't do anything to hide that. Now, right. If it's one of those things where he's looking symptomatic and they're afraid that he could have it, they just don't want to test him. Maybe they tell him to stay home and get treatment,
or simply just they say, hey man, a lot of teams are exploding with cases right now, and we don't even want to risk it. Just go home and stay home.
Yeah.
Because you're not playing anyway.
Yeah.
You're not practicing anyway. Just go home. Now, I mean, granted, he was there during the week, but in terms of traveling, why? Why bother?
Yeah. John Hazeb Ali, what's up, man? Like he's big on this EDC guy go thing, man. Look, he ain't going anywhere. And shout out to Anonymous, man. Anonymous says, is Coach Roman more diverse? Calls without Lamar, or is he more diverse with the calls without Lamar?
Thank you, Anonymous. Appreciate it.
Yes, appreciate that. Go ahead, B.
I was just gonna say he's similar to John Harbaugh. You see the best of him when his back's against the wall, mm-hmm. right? And they think, hey, Tyler Huntley can't really do this on his own. Josh Johnson definitely can't do this on his own. So we've got to change things up and try to make it easier for him, try to take some of the burden off those guys. But they look at Lamar Jackson and they say, hey, Superman's back. So let's just run what we want, and it'll work because Superman.
The funny thing is during the game, right, because we watched that first drive where we scored the touchdown, and B called it. B was just like, yeah, I mean, the first couple of drives are going to be easy for them because that's what's scripted. Now let's see what they do the rest of the game when the other team makes adjustments. And you saw it. Nothing. Right? Like, I mean, because you're seeing the limitations of G-Roll. Like, it appears like the offense is looking better because they have to pass the ball more because, the run game is nothing without Lamar. It's absolutely nothing. And they're forced to do other things, and it looks like it's working because, one, the other defense isn't scheming for that, right?
Yeah.
We haven't been doing it. And two, there's a couple of plays in his vault that look good, when the other team isn't ready for it, and we can score on those plays. But when the other team starts to make adjustments, that's where you see the limitations of what he can do as a play caller. And, that's why we've been coming up short. I mean, 4 losses in a row is 4 losses in a row. I mean, we can say how well Tyler Huntley's looked and how well Josh Johnson's looked. We have 4 losses in a row.
Yeah. I will say also, we should point out the other reason that the offense looks, decent with those backup quarterbacks in is because Raven Ron pointed it out earlier. Mark Andrews is having a fantastic season, right? Mm-hmm. And shout out to Rashad Bateman. He got his first touchdown this past week.
Yes.
James Prochet had a big game.
Yes.
So, they have some guys who are stepping up and trying to help out in the passing game.
And Tylen Wallace got his first catch. That was a big catch too.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a nice play.
Yeah.
So, they have young talent at wide receiver, right? And it's inconsistent. It's not there every week, but Mark Andrews, he's been there every week for them this year. Those other guys, they show up at times. So that's kind of where you're seeing. Everybody knows Tyler Huntley isn't Lamar Jackson. Josh Johnson isn't Lamar Jackson. And so everybody else on that offense is going to have to carry a bit more.
Yes.
Than they normally would, and I think you're seeing those guys step up and do that.
Yeah, yeah, and that's something that a good coach would be saying even when the star player is there. You shouldn't be putting it all on his shoulders. But again, man, look, this is the curse of the black quarterback, man. This stems from way before Lamar, right? When you have it's always with the black quarterback show. Like they put too much on them. They say, hey, well, we don't really need that much of an O-line. He'll run around like he'll make plays with his feet, so we don't have to spend that money, that capital on that. He doesn't really need a star wide receiver because like he's not really a passer. Like a star wide receiver is gonna want the ball too much, and he works better with blocking wide receivers. So you want the blocking wide receivers, you want the blocking tight ends, but you don't want the blocking on your O-line. That's usually how it goes, right? And coaches just get extremely lazy with their play calling when you get athletic quarterbacks, black quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson, right? And I single out black quarterbacks because we have athletic white quarterbacks that they don't do that for. And just look at a perfect example is Josh Allen, right? And shout out to Josh Allen. I mean, he's been playing great. He had a terrible rookie year, but they built the team around him. They got him a number one wide receiver. Now the O-line, I'm sure they will argue the O-line is a little shaky this year, but in general they've held up. But they invest in him, and I'm not seeing an investment in Lamar Jackson. Getting Rashad Bateman is not. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Well, no, but again, the watching the game, the only thing that was going through my mind was, I wonder how many people still would rather have Patrick Queen than T. Higgins, because Patrick Queen was absolutely the wrong pick. He's playing much better.
Yes.
He's a good young player.
Yes.
I'm not trying to dump on Patrick Queen at all. But it was absolutely the wrong pick. He doesn't affect games the way T. Higgins does. And that's because of the position that he plays. And and the point that you made initially, why would you draft a middle linebacker in the first round when you just showed you don't value middle linebackers by letting CJ Mosley leave in free agency?
Exactly.
And now you used a third round pick on middle linebackers, and that dude doesn't even play now.
Yeah. Let me read a couple of these comments real quick, and then we can toss some Panthers real quick, and we'll finish up with some more Ravens talk, and then we'll get to this game. Shout out to Adeep Mahmood. Adeep, what's his channel? We're just looking at the other day.
I don't have it off the top of my head, but Adeep, you can go ahead and drop the link, man.
Adeep, plug your channel, man. He just put out a video, man. Shout out to you. He says, I heard somewhere that ankle bruises could worsen when in high altitude. With at least 2 games at home, it makes sense that they did not want to risk him traveling and potentially making it worse. I mean, I don't know. That's something for Mills to answer, right? I mean, I don't know anything about that, but I mean, it could be. And you're right. If they don't expect him to play.
Yeah, if you're unfamiliar with Mills, that's at Game Medicine on Twitter. He is on top of all of the Ravens injuries every single week. I mean, and he talks about other teams as well. But I mean, if you want to know what's going on with Ravens players, definitely follow Mills at Game Medicine on Twitter.
Yep. Let's see here. Raven Ron says, "Let's go Saints." John Hazeb Ali says Orlando Brown is rocking in Chiefs. Why the hell we traded him, man? Orlando Brown looks excellent right now. I watched him the other day, and yeah, I didn't see. I did not see. I did not see Pat Mahomes running for his life. I'll say that. Yes, 0 sacks for Mahomes. Yeah, we should not have gotten rid of him. We shouldn't have. Attitude Pop, he says, fire Harbs, Roman, and especially Wink. And we never throw Bateman the ball or draw plays for him after his touchdown he caught. He didn't get no more balls thrown to him. Now, I want to say this too. Whenever we bring up, I mean, we're not saying you guys, but whenever we bring up getting Lamar a star wide receiver, potentially, like AB, right? Like Julio Jones. I understand Julio Jones has been hurt this year. But, Allen Robinson, whoever. It's somebody always has to throw out there, oh, well, we don't throw the ball enough here. Or they're going to want the ball too much. They're going to be mad because we don't throw the ball enough. But we got a rookie wide receiver that he gets a few targets, a few catches, and it's just like, you got to throw in the ball more. Why isn't he getting the ball more? Because you're getting a taste. You're getting a taste of what's like to have some real talent there, and you want more, right? Mm-hmm. Whenever we talk about not getting somebody, oh, he's going to cost too much. Oh, he's going to want the ball too much. Oh, he doesn't fit our style. Those are all coping mechanisms for you guys. It's coping mechanisms because we ain't going to get that guy, right? Yeah. You know we could use him. We know it'll be a big help, but you also know we ain't going to get him. So we start to reason immediately why we're not going to get that guy. But go with your feelings is what I'm saying, right? Go with your feelings and say we need to get him and hold this team accountable. Okay, couple more comments and let's toss some Panthers. Nitro says Tony Jefferson got a random COVID test after the game. Yes, which is kind of weird because I thought they only tested if you're showing symptoms.
I don't know. They're changing everything up right now, so I mean I'm not even sure what the protocols are at this point, which I'm sure is at least part of their intention.
Yeah. Adit's show is called Sports Talk Central with Adit and Hunter. So make sure you guys subscribe to that. I'll put it up there for a second. Sports Talk Central with Adit and Hunter. All right. Make sure we support each other. LBHT crew, man. It only takes 2 seconds to hit subscribe button. All right. So go over there and check it out. Yes, Ferris. T. Higgins is a goon, which is exactly why we wanted him.
Like Ravens fans know what elite talent looks like. All the other teams in the division have it. At wide receiver, or have had.
Yep. Big Reg 29 says, "Can we let 7-game Sammy go, please?" Yeah, he's out of here.
Yeah, well, be careful what you wish for, because Sammy goes and they might just say, "Hey, Seth Roberts available?" I mean, you don't know who's going to take his spot.
Yeah. And Q Jackson 124 says, "What's up, man? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate it." A couple more here. Off the record says, "Bubble wrap Lamar. All this COVID going around, especially here in Maryland. That is facts. I wouldn't let him travel either." Yeah. All right. And we'll read Agent E's comment because this will transition to the next topic. Cam got benched for the 3rd time.
Well, technically, he got taken out of the game, but that was something they announced before the game that they were going to be doing. They're kind of rotating quarterbacks a little bit because Matt Rule's a moron. Yeah. It was an awful game, and a lot of the talk around the organization is that Matt Rule will be back, Cam will be gone. That was his last game at Bank of America Stadium, which look, it sucks. You don't want to see him going out, getting blown out, not playing well. But at least he got to come back home before the end of his career. Yeah. But Cam wasn't. He hasn't been playing great. No. He didn't play particularly well in this game either. He was like 7 for 13, 60 yards and an interception, and then like another 40 yards rushing. And then they put in Sam Darnold, who was under 50%, 190 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. So neither one of them played well. The O-line gave up a total of 7 sacks. Darnold was sacked 4 times. Cam was sacked 3 times. They got absolutely nothing from the run game. Tom Brady actually outrushed their running backs, all of their running backs combined. It's I've been saying for weeks, it's a mess in Carolina. And I think you're hearing people in the organization saying that Matt Rule is going to be back, or people around the organization saying Matt Rule is going to be back. And, I think it's in large part due to what we've been talking about the last few weeks, because they know they're not going to be able to get a quality head coach in Carolina with the current state of the team. They don't have a quarterback. They don't have an O-line. They don't have the resources to get them. Yeah. So if you pick a quarterback in the draft, that means you can't pick any O-linemen because they don't have 2nd and 3rd round picks. If you take an O-lineman, then you don't have any means to get a quarterback. And who wants to tie their coaching future to Sam Darnold?
Right.
No one.
I don't know. I still feel like he's going to be out of here, man. Like, he is such a disaster. I feel like he's going to be out of here. This reminds me of Brian Billick, right? Some of you guys in here are too young to remember when Brian Billick got fired for John Harbaugh. Brian Billick, it was announced that he was coming back, right? This is when Steve Bisciotti first took over the team. In fact, I think that was his first year he took over the team, and he announced he's bringing back Brian Billick, and they look terrible. Brian Billick lost the last game to a winless Dolphins team, and he got fired. Right? So yes, it could be rumored. Even if the owner comes out and says it, that doesn't mean it's true, right? It ain't over till it's over. So right. I'm holding out hope that Tepper at the end of the season looks at it and looks at the fans and says, yeah, I mean, we're not going to win any games next year anyway. I'd rather roll with the fan favorite and Cam, because, you get rid of Cam next year and you just stuck with Matt Rule and Sam Darnold. And by the way, man, and this is another thing too, like, I feel bad. Well, look, I don't feel bad for most players, but like, you put Sam Darnold in a bad situation, right? Mm-hmm. You traded for him, you didn't set him up for success, and you bring in the hero of Charlotte, right? The hero of Carolina, and then you bench him to put Sam in, and he got booed, right? And he got booed loudly. I was one of those people that was booing, by the way. But I absolutely booed from here. I was just like, oh, they're booing too. Let me stop, man. It's a bad situation, man, and it sucks for him because Donald didn't do anything to deserve boos, right? Okay, he's not good, but he didn't deserve that. But right. That's on Matt Rule. But Matt Rule's going to put him in that same situation again next year because, if Matt Rule stays, Sam Darnold's going to stay. Cam ain't going to be there. The team's still going to be bad, right? That's when you get boos, and then the boos get quieter and quieter because people aren't showing up. Now, if Cam is there still, people will still show up, right? Mm-hmm. So I would, if I'm the owner, I would say, all right, I'm biting the bullet on Matt Rule's contract. I'm going to get another coach that can really work with Cam and get whatever we can get out of him. And at least we can put some butts in the seats that way.
Yeah. I also want to mention that the defense that has a couple of Pro Bowl edge rushers, top 10 defensive tackle. They got 0 sacks on Tampa Bay this past week, and they had 1 QB hit for the whole game. So that was great. But yeah, as far as the future of the team, and I don't know where they go from here. Like I said, I think the best possible outcome for them would be Miami does go after Deshaun Watson and they make a play for Tua. But even then, like, I don't know how you're going to pull that off because, again, you traded your 2nd round pick for Sam Darnold. You traded your 3rd round pick for CJ Henderson, who's looked bad, hasn't played well at all since he's been in Carolina. So I don't think that they even have the draft capital to pull something like that off. I personally, I would say, hey, man, throw Christian McCaffrey out there. But Christian McCaffrey's value is not anywhere near where it once was since he hasn't been playing since they signed him to that contract. So that's like I said, that's part of why I think that Matt Rule could be back. It's just that it's a mess that he made, and they're going to make him lay in it, not anybody else. And then once you kind of get to the other side of that, you have your full complement of draft picks. Sam Darnold's off the team. Then you fire him, bring somebody else in, give him a fresh start.
I don't know. Look, 2 games, and then we're gonna find out. All right, may not be 2 games for Matt Nagy. Let's mention him real quick because he said he expects to be able to finish out coaching these last 2 games, which means he knows the end is near for him.
It's never a good thing when you have to say, I expect that I'm not going to be fired soon.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Yeah. He's a bad coach, but that's all it is, right? Like, if you want to fire him, just fire him. Don't send him out there every single week to answer those kind of questions.
Yeah. All right.
Why?
Yeah. All right. Get your comments in, some last minute thoughts, and then we're going to get out of here. We're going to watch this game, and you guys are going to watch this game as well because we need the Saints to beat the Dolphins. I don't think it's going to happen, but we need them to beat the Dolphins. Have won like 6 straight, dude. Like, they are 7 straight. They're rolling right now. So,
How depressing must it be to win 7 in a row and be one game over 500?
I know.
But I mean, it feels good right now, right? That's fine.
Yeah. So we're going to talk more about the playoff scenario on Wednesday. There's a lot to unpack there. So like I said, for the Ravens, if Lamar is able to come back, that will give us a lot of hope. We need to beat the Rams. That's the big hurdle. Beat the Rams game, and I'll feel very good about beating the Steelers. The Steelers have completely fell apart. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger looks like he's shot putting out there. Okay. he doesn't look good. He doesn't look good at all. Now, granted, they're playing the hottest team in the league right now. I don't think there's anybody that can beat the Chiefs right now.
Yeah.
I just don't. Like, they are firing on all cylinders.
The Dallas Cowboys are like a word because they put it on Washington.
Yeah, but, yes. I mean, look, I can't take anything away from that. You scored 56 points, even on the bad team. That is a lot of points, man. They had them punching each other. My goodness. Nitro says Saints win by 10. Okay. Let's see. Mr. J6 says I'm excited for Yetur Gross Matos, YGM, to get more playing with Pro Bowl Spidey out, but we definitely losing for sure. Yes. So might as well talk about what trade value our top 5 pick can get us in April. Okay. Yes, that's like B said, right? There's no quarterback really that you're looking at in this year's draft. I wouldn't think.
Well, the talk is that they like Kenny Pickett, but I mean, to be fair, I haven't watched much of him. But Carolina, unless it is the quarterback, they're not a player away.
If they draft a quarterback, I would definitely say keep Cam, right? Because you don't want that quarterback going out there with this mess. Keep Cam and just let that guy develop behind Cam, right? Because if Cam's not there and Sam Darnold's out there, they're gonna throw the kid out there, right?
Yeah.
So I'm lobbying to keep Cam, and plus, man, I just can't. It doesn't look good for Cam, but I still had this feeling that Cam I don't think he's done, man. I feel like right situation. Not saying you get Cam old, but you could get a solid play from Cam. Matt Williams says, LBHT, what's up, guys? Thanks for coming through, Matt. We about to wrap up here in a minute, but I appreciate you coming through. Caleb is here. He says, "Damn right, Brodny." Yes.
Well, I don't think he said it like that.
Damn right, Brodny.
Just so y'all know, that is my pick for the Super Bowl this year. It's Dallas and Kansas City. And man, if right now my pick would be Kansas City, but if Dallas keeps on playing like that, they show that they're just back on track. I don't know. That'd be a great game.
Just Allo says, is there a rumor that the Browns are going to go after Watson? That's the rumor, but Watson has a no trade clause, so he's only going to go where he wants to go. Does he want to go to Cleveland? I can't imagine.
I think they can make it to the point where it's, do you want to play football,
right?
Or do you because like they might say, hey, look, we're not taking whatever Miami is offering us. We're just not doing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, they could try to bully him into a Cleveland trade. Ultimately, I don't think they do it. I think they just re-sign Baker.
Yeah.
Or extend him.
I mean, that's a tough situation for both sides, right? Because he wants to play football, but also you're paying me, right? Yeah. Do you want to keep paying me? I mean, I'll take the money too.
And they'll look at you and say, I don't care. Our starting quarterback is making nothing.
Yeah. Nitro says everything depends on if Lamar can come back. Yes. If we can make it to the playoffs, anything can happen. COVID, bad calls, and injury will play major roles in these playoffs. Yes, but the Chiefs played last week's game with I don't think Tyreek Hill played in that game.
Right? No, Tyreek did. Kelsey didn't.
Kelsey didn't play. I saw Byron Pringle get busy out there.
Yeah. So those things that you mentioned, Nitro, they will play a big role. They'll play a big role amongst the teams who are, in that same kind of pool, that 8-6 or 9-7 or wherever they're at right now. When they get on the field with a team like the Chiefs, it's not gonna make a difference.
Yeah.
Because the Chiefs are a couple steps above the rest of the teams in the AFC right now, so the games won't really be close enough for a bad call here or something like that to really make that big a difference.
Well, look
Unless it's Pat
who's
Mahomes who's
here
out.
late. Couch Rider Raven says, "Sorry, I'm late, fellas." Yes, you are late, Couch Rider. I'm just messing with you, man. Thanks for coming through, man. We're actually gonna wrap up here in a minute, man. But if you got any comments you want to leave real quick, go ahead and leave it in there. But yeah, look, this year ain't it for the Ravens. I don't think. Too many injuries, too many people out, and this ain't the coaching staff that can make it happen with what we have. It just isn't at full strength, or close to full strength. I think we absolutely have what we need. Even with this coaching staff, we have what we need. King Bird, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming through. But we don't have it this year, right? And we need a little bit more help in the offseason, get the right players on that O-line. Bringing Ronnie Stanley back healthy will be huge. Do not depend on Jawan James giving you anything, okay?
Yeah.
We rely too much of that here in Baltimore, trying to get these steals, these bargains, and
trying to get somebody to recapture the magic.
Yeah. Go out and get a guy that can play, right?
Yeah.
And go out and get a left guard. We need some work on the O-line, but if they put in the work on the O-line, we get J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards back healthy. We get Ronnie Stanley back healthy. We get our corners back healthy. Mm-hmm. Man, we can go far. Yeah. But this year, like I said, anything can happen, but I don't expect it. But look, literally, it's 1 week at a time now. Really, one game at a time. The Dolphins are going to start here soon. We need them to lose. If they lose, we are in the playoffs right now, right?
Yeah.
And then it's all hands on deck for the Rams game. I expect Lamar to play in that game. And if Lamar's playing in that game, I'm going to pick them to win, right? And I hear people saying Adams. You talking about Mike? You talking about Devontae Adams? Is he? I mean, if Devontae Adams is available, yeah, absolutely. I would trade anything for Devontae Adams. Anything. Like I don't care if they ask for 2 first-round picks, give it to him.
Yeah, he'll be available. I think he's going to stay in Green Bay though. That whole Aaron Rodgers leaving talk is quieted down, and he's going to go where Aaron is.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to know what it's like on the other side.
Yeah. Not nice, Danity. She says trying to turn hoes into housewives. Yo, Danity be cracking me up. Couch Rider says Cleveland ain't doing well. No, I wouldn't say they're doing well at all. 4 interceptions. That's not good.
No, that's bad.
That's bad.
That is bad. and it was 4 by the grace of God, because he threw
it could have been
2
6.
or 3 more.
Yes. Man, that he looked bad. And what's going on with Baker is the worst case scenario that I played out at the beginning of the year, which is he doesn't look terrible, but he doesn't look good either.
Yeah.
And he's done nothing for you to feel comfortable about paying him. But look, pick up his 5th-year option. You got 1 more year to prove it, and we'll see. But man, I know they wanted to give him the extension this year, right? They just needed him to. All he had to do was play pretty good, not great, pretty good. He had a pretty good year last year. If he strung together 2 solid years, I think they would have said, "That's good enough. We're comfortable with them. Let's get this done." But it was lukewarm, right? A lukewarm season.
I think they're going to extend him this offseason anyway. I think they are too scared of possibly losing the guy who they thought was their franchise quarterback. They haven't, think about Cleveland. Mm-hmm. They haven't had a quarterback since the 80s.
Yeah.
Period. They just haven't.
Yeah.
They've been going from just Tim Couch to Kelly Holcomb to the Derek Anderson. They've had just a long list of just terrible guys there. Brady Quinn, Johnny Manziel, Brandon Whedon. They want Baker to be the answer long term, and they're too scared to admit that he might not be it. they're going to hit the offseason and they're going to pay him.
Yeah. How much do they pay him?
I think he gets mid to high 30s. So I'm going to say like maybe somewhere like 37 or so.
Man. Look, I'm all for it, players getting the money. If he gets that, man, salute to that man. But sheesh, if you're a Cleveland fan, dude, do you feel comfortable with that? Oh, and we got on this whole thing about Cleveland. Man, Couch Rider talking about Ben Cleveland. My bad, Couch Rider. Is Ben Cleveland good?
Yeah, he got tossed to the side. I don't know. I can't remember what point in the game it was, but they tried to run up the middle, and I believe it was B.J. Hill grabbed him and threw him to the ground like a child and ran to the backfield and blew that up. So that was not a good look for him. But again, offensive linemen, sometimes they take a few years.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
I know everybody was hyped because they saw the size of this man and like, oh man, we got to steal in the third round. That's not how it works, man. Stop looking at their size. Like, I mean, I can see how we could feel good about it because historically we're good at drafting interior linemen, right? Mm-hmm. We haven't been good at it recently. In fact, we've been pretty bad at it. But look, he could turn out to be a good player. I mean, no, he's not good this year. That's fine. That doesn't speak to how he'll turn out later on. But don't rely on him. That's the thing. Go out and get an offensive lineman that you know can play. Let him develop. He might turn out to be an excellent player at some point. But right now, don't rely on it.
Yeah.
All right. Ferris says, no, Jose, it's all OBJ's fault, man. Baker is blameless, apparently. Yeah, Odell over in LA catching touchdowns and it's still somehow affecting Baker Mayfield. I don't know. Yes, Mikey says, hit the like button, folks. Yes, hit that like button. If you're new in here, thank you for coming through. Make sure you subscribe. All right. Let's see. 32 million, Couch Rider says. All right. Danny says 37 too high. He needs only 30.
But he's not going to agree to 30.
No.
That doesn't, I mean, there's no upside for Baker to take that deal. He'll just say, I'll play on the fifth-year option, and if you don't want me, I'll hit free agency and make more than that.
You think maybe they'll give him a shorter-term deal?
I think they're going to push for a long-term deal, and it'll be, like I said, on that mid to high 30s range. Because otherwise, like, there's no incentive for Baker to take less money.
Right.
Because if they don't want him, there are plenty of teams who will pay him more than Cleveland would.
Yeah. All right, let's get out of here. What time does the game start on Monday? I can 8:15. 8:15. All right, so the game has started, guys and gals. All right,
or at least maybe just coverage starting. But
okay, yeah. All right. So we're gonna have to get out of here. All right, thanks for hanging out with us once again.
Oh no, the game has started.
Oh, it has. All right, hit that like button on your way out. Also, right, we got 33 people in here. Go over to Ring Kings podcast. All right, if you're into boxing, you're not into boxing, that's okay. You like seeing our faces. You like seeing OTR Mike's face, okay? Go over to Ring Kings Podcast. Just search it up in YouTube and you will see us. Click that subscribe button. We put our first video out. It's a banger. All right, you're going to see more from us there. We'll share some clips on this channel as well. We'll put it in the boxing section so you guys can see a little bit of that. All right, but thanks for coming through. Wednesday, we will see you. B, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
B is ready. All right, y'all. Have a good night. If you're still celebrating the holidays, enjoy your holidays. Be safe, and we will see you Wednesday. Peace out.